to Knit One, Heart 2.
Episode 72.
-A.
-A. Because we are starting over again.
My name is Sheila, also known as Sheila D37, everywhere.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy on Ravelry, and Penny Wendy to other places. And the reason for that is because I always sign up as Penny Wendy, and then I forget what my password is, and then I have to sign up for a new account as Penny Wendy too. I don't know.
So I want to say thank you to Candy for your wonderful donation. If you guys want to donate to the podcast, the donation button's over there, and any money comes and gets used directly to the podcast or to our viewers with prizes and postage.
Costs of running the show, like the P.O. box and any internet money that we have to spend. We don't take any of that money to use for ourselves personally. It all goes right back into the show. Business cards.
Yes, which we need
Which
to
I
do.
was actually online designing some, so I
and
got to
we
talk
need
to you about that.
pins too.
Yes.
Because Rhinebeck's coming up in a
and we need to
couple of
order
months.
early this time so that we're not getting the pins delivered to us as we get in the car to leave for Rhinebeck.
Yeah. So just a reminder that it is August 1st, and at the end of the month we will be finishing up our knit-along, which is 2 knit-alongs, sparkly yarn, which I think a lot of people have jumped on ship with. That is really nice. And then the ruby slipper shawl that Penny, I keep wanting to say Penny Wendy designed.
Everybody calls me Penny now. That
know.
should just be my new name.
And if you knit a ruby slipper shawl in sparkly yarn, you can get
2 chances to win.
2 chances. But you will not win both.
No.
If your name gets chosen per chance by both,
you will only win
once.
But, as you know from watching last week's episode, that's how we roll. I just want everyone to know that I did meet up with Diane and Oz this week, and she is laughing about what happened because she knows that it's hilarious that she won when she doesn't watch the show. And if I hadn't told her, she never would have known about it. But I told her. And that just
she
goes
used to watch the show. What happened? Life got in the way?
She doesn't have a lot of... She's like me. I don't have a lot of time to watch podcasts. I barely have enough time to just record this podcast.
I know. Life gets in the way.
Yeah, it does get in the way. So, yeah.
So we'll jump on the dance card. I am doing just my little toe-up sock. I've turned the heel. It is Yarnissima Sock Man or Sock Boy. They're pretty much the same. I like this pattern because I'm going to show you the better side of it. It has the garter stitch in the middle.
Yeah, I like that.
And it breaks it up.
What is it called? A gusset.
Oh,
I like
garter
that kind
gusset.
of gusset.
Yeah. Breaks it up nicely.
Pretty.
We have the kids outside.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you hear any squealing, that's our kids playing in the backyard.
I did do something different on her pattern. She has you wrap and turn every stitch. I did every other because I remember the last time I did something, it just felt awkward.
Yeah.
But it worked out nice. I just didn't do anything fancy to the heel right now because it's only the second time I've done this pattern. Maybe the third time I'll do something else to the heel. But
reinforce it with some slip stitches.
Yeah. This is Lorna's Laces Sport Mate, which is with the Outlast material.
Which is the stuff that adjusts
temperature control.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I put it on my foot to try it out when I turned the heel to make sure that I didn't go too small. My feet were a little warm, but as soon as I put it on, they felt comfortable.
Interesting.
So it will be interesting. I did wear a pair of wool socks the other night, Sunday night when I went to work because my feet were a little cold. Unfortunately, those socks came right off because my feet got warm. It doesn't help that I was wearing Crocs too, which
those are like automatically warm.
Yeah, because it's faux material.
Yeah.
So this is all I've got so far. I like how the striping's kind of going.
Yeah, I do too.
And the pooling.
And then it's back to the striping. Yeah, I like that. So, I love those
I kind of
colors.
wish the pooling on this side was on the front.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So this is my one thing that's actively on the needles.
That's it for
Hoping to at least get one sock done for next week.
That's it for you, huh?
That's it. Well, unless you want to count all the books I've been reading. But
oh, I know. Diane told me when I saw her on Monday that you are updating your Goodreads like every day. She's like, she is reading.
But you know what? On my defense, some books that I get through Kindle that are free are like 60, 70 pages.
The free Kindle books can be short sometimes.
Yeah, they're quick little reads, and you can read through 3 or 4 of them in a day.
Yeah. So on the dance card for me, the thing that I'm working on, I'll go with first. This is JudyB. Is that the front or the back? That's the back. JudyB by Kimberly Gintar. It's getting really big. There we go. I have 10 more grams of yarn to use before I can start the decrease. Oh, wow. So I'm almost done.
It's going to be a nice shawl.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good drapey wrap around. It's going to be pretty
it's gonna
big.
Be nice.
It's going to be nice. I love it, and I love the yarn. I didn't like spinning the yarn. I didn't like the way the yarn looked in the skein, but knit up and the way that it feels, I totally love it. So it worked out to be good. The yarn is my hand-spun Into the World Polymer Silk Blend in the Gweeder colorway, which was marled with coordinate to the Gweeder colorway. Can't remember which one because Chris of Into the World uses numbers, so it would be something like 12.3 or I don't remember that. And I just two-plied it, and it's a sport weight, and I had 720 yards. So and I'm pretty much going to use all the yarn because I weighed in advance. I have this much left. So that's been fun, but I have to admit I'm starting to get ready for this to be done. I want to have something else to work on. I just want this to be finished. So I've been working on it quite a bit, and I'll be knitting on that during the show. And if you're interested in the pattern, you can buy the JudyB pattern for $5 on Ravelry, and it was kindly gifted to me by Kimberly.
And I have it as well.
Yeah, I love it.
I might do it in lace.
Oh, I just really love it. It's a nice pattern. It's very well written. So there's that. Then there are my, did I not bring them? Guess I didn't. My Loud and Proud socks, which I guess I didn't bring. I might have left them in my car because I was in a car accident. We'll talk about that later, but they might still be in the car because they were in the car when I was in the car accident.
Okay.
So I didn't bring them, and that's fine because I didn't get to knit on them much this week at all because I didn't go to physical therapy because I was in a car accident on the way to physical therapy. So, and nobody was hurt, so. But I'm doing those in Play It Life Saki Maki in the Loud and Proud colorway, and they're on 1.5 US, 2.5 millimeter needles, and I'm just making them up as I go, having fun with it,
good,
trying out different things, and I am on the leg of the first sock, so there's not really much to see there. So there's that. The next thing is I finally cast on for my next design because I am done with my commission design. And I am calling it some Josette. Josette from Enchanted Knoll Farm makes these really beautiful sparkle bats, but they get on everything. And there I have a little Josette on everything that I own. I'm calling it Little Batty because it has these chevron shapes. It's called the palm leaf chevron pattern, but it has chevron shapes in it that do look a little bit like bats. And since Halloween is coming up, I thought I would put that in. So this is the beginning of it. It's kind of hard to see. And I think I have made a mistake in the pattern right here. So I have to look up my base pattern again. I'm charting it as I go, and I think I left out a knit 3 together. Sometimes that happens when you're not paying attention. So I need to go back and double check.
You're using what on that?
I am using Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock medium weight in the Rookie colorway.
It's pretty.
It's really hard to see in this light, but it's
got green.
It's a really dark, almost black purple with maroon and green, and it kind of looks like what you would expect a raven's wing to look like if the sun glinted off it.
Right.
Isn't it pretty? It's gorge. I wanted to use this. I love it because it's a semi-solid, but it's
pretty.
It's really pretty. And since the lace shawl that I'm doing, it reminds me of Little Bats because I'm sort of in this Halloween mode in my head right now. But if you knit it in pink, nobody would come up to you and say, oh, that shawl has bats all over it. It doesn't. It's just chevrons that remind me of bats. So I thought mine will be called Little Batty because it's going to be probably ready to go on sale around Halloween. But yeah, it'll be all over lace. It will be a crescent-shaped shawl, but you can already see how it's going to have a crescent shape. And it will have it all over lace in this pattern, and then it will have a big edging in a different pattern. That's my plan anyway. And I'm enjoying it. I'm charting it as I go, which is how I realized that This is supposed to be 2 diamonds, not 1 giant
Oh,
diamond.
okay.
So I have to rip back. The joys of knitting from when you're making it up yourself. I'm not fast. I don't know how some of these people like Wendy Johnson just like crank out a pattern.
Well, because you know what? They're working on several at a time, I think.
I know. I just don't know how they do it. It's so like, I'm so not at that level. I mean, I know what I want it to be, and I know that I can make it turn into something, but getting it written down is hard.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't have to write it down, I could probably do it really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's one of those people that can just knit it and then write it down afterwards.
I think, from what I've read of her blog, she actually has them written down before she even starts.
Yeah. Well, I do that in terms of pattern.
Excuse me.
I do that in terms of the pattern, but then I gotta like add stuff in as I go. I always have like a basic pattern written,
Yeah.
but the charting is what takes me. I have to do the charts.
I don't know. She's been doing it a little longer than you.
And she's really good. Yeah. No, I don't even know how I could ever be like that because I think it takes me so long. So there's that. I also have completed my secret knitting, my commission knitting. Sheila saw the finished. I brought it with me. It's really gorgeous. But we're struggling with what yarn base we're going to use. We're working with a dyer to get a yarn base, and the first one I really like, but I don't think it has general appeal, and everybody agreed with me. So now we tried a second one, which I'm knitting up, and I think it's too visually distracting. So, you guys.
Why couldn't you stay outside? Zachary. Hi, we have kids coming in. Be quiet, please.
Okay, just walk by. If you're going to be in the house.
Go.
Don't you like Jack's outfit?
Yeah, looks good. The shorts.
Don't you like the socks?
No, I'm on the podcast. Go. Sorry.
Yeah, my son has a birthday party to go to this afternoon at a place called Jim Street.
So he decided to wear a shirt?
His Jim Street shirt and shorts that were with that outfit that he had in his last Jim Street recital.
Oh, okay.
And then he picked out, it's a purple shirt and black pants, and then he picked out a pair of navy blue socks with yellow and white stripes. Because you have to wear socks to go to the Jim Street birthday party.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't interfere. As long as my kids are dressed weather appropriately, I don't interfere with their taste.
Yeah, I don't either.
But he looks.
They want to come out wearing some weird colors.
Yeah, he's a hot mess, man. So anyway, my secret knitting. I finished one. I started knitting a second one in the new base, which I think, with the design that I'm using, it's too visually distracting. So now I'm waiting to find out if we're gonna rework it or if we're gonna try a third.
Excuse me, not
color.
in this room. Not in this room. Sorry, guys. It looks
I think
like
they're
playing hide and seek.
This is not a good time to play hide and seek, guys.
Well,
Whatever. Anyway, we'll work around it. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But, I mean, I love the design that I did is exactly what I wanted it to work out like. So I'm really happy with it.
Okay.
I think it'll be a fun knit. It's not too taxing, but there's a little interest so that you don't get totally
No, it looks
bored.
nice.
And anyway, that'll be coming out. So I think sometime in September, I'm hoping. But test knitting right now is on hold. Hold on one second, guys. That'll be test knitting for that is going to be on hold until I find out exactly what we're doing about the yarn base. Because if we make a certain choice, I might add a little bit to the edging to spice it up a little bit.
Right.
Like if it's in a semi-solid yarn, I might want more design elements. So I don't know what's going on with that. But it's there. It's done. So that's all I have currently on the needles. And hopefully next week you'll see this JudyB off the needles. Because it would be nice if one of us had a finished object anytime soon.
It just hasn't been me lately. I apologize. I'm just in a weird funk lately.
I know. Well, I have a lot going on, and you're in a weird funk.
I'm in a weird funk. I have in-laws here, and just whatever. I have nothing to show that's finished. I have no rate your date.
I don't have a rate your date either, but I do have a whirlwind romance. Kind of still in the groove from Tour de Fleece, which personally for me was really good. it made me realize that I can easily spin 4 ounces in a day, and it won't take me very long, depending on what weight. So spinning 4 ounces and plying it together with something in 2 or 3 days isn't like a crazy goal. So I'm trying to spin now. I'm trying to spin and finish 4 ounces a week if I can fit it in. I mean, it's not going to be like that in the next couple of weeks because I have a lot going on. Guys! They were so quiet last week.
Because Zachary wasn't here.
Oh, so there's more to talk to. So anyway, I'm going to show you the yarn. The colors, you can see there's yellow, there's like a blue, and there's a purple in here, and a lighter blue, and there's some sparkle, and some sari silk. Let me see if I can find the one place where you can really see the sari silk that popped out. Here's the spot where you can really see that bright purple in the front. There is some sari silk that's in there. This is a 2-ply fingering. It's mostly a fingering weight. Here's another flash of the really bright sari silk. It's a 2-ply fingering weight, and the multicolored yarn is from a farm-grown bat from Enchanted Knoll, which was made by my friend Josette. And I picked it up when I was at Abby Frankemont's class because Josette was vending there. And the Enchanted Knoll bat had wool, bamboo, silk, sari silk, sparkle. And sparkle is in like 4 different, there's gold, sparkle, there's pink. There's a lot of different colors in it. And then I got a wonderful gift that everyone saw from Chris from Into the World, which was 2, I actually have this is the prize that goes out for Tour de Fleece.
I had it, so.
She had it at her house. So this is the 14.12 coordinate, which I spun with the bat. And I really love it. It marled beautifully.
It did.
And I got just over 500 yards. I have more of the Enchanted Knoll bat on my bobbin, so I probably will get another 20 or 30 yards from that. This is the second skein because I couldn't fit all that yardage on one bobbin. And then I have a second Into the World bat in the same colorway, but it was slightly different colors, and that one is going to get marled with the other coordinate that Chris sent me, which is the 14.12 colorway in this color. It's brighter. So I was a little nervous about marling Josette's bats, but when I spun them, I felt like they looked muddied all together. And putting the dark contrasting coordinate with them really makes all the different colors in them pop out. So I'm very happy that I went for that choice, and I actually showed Chris Into the World a picture of it because when I told her, I think she doubted that they really matched perfectly with the bats. It was just a weird, freaky coincidence. She had intended me to put those together with my Fierce and Flawless bats, but I spun them before I got the package because I didn't go to them. I skipped a week at the post office. So she was really happy to see that I was not kidding when I said they would look really good with some stuff that I was planning on spinning. So you'll see the second 8 ounces of this next week. And that's all I have.
Any plans for them?
I was thinking that I might design a shawlette to go with this, another side-to-side shawlette, because those are kind of fun and you can adjust them. And because this will have some really pretty, it'll have striping like this that I think really is played up by a side-to-side knit.
Yeah.
And honestly, now that I've been spinning and knitting with my hand spun, I kind of like it.
I should hope so.
So I kind of want to make another design that will really show off hand spuns.
Right.
So someday, if I ever get my commission knitting straightened out, maybe next year. But that's it for my Whirlwind Romance this week.
And future dates, I have nothing planned as of right now. I was planning on doing the Ravelinics, just not feeling the love. I do want to use that. I was thinking of maybe a feather and fan shawl with that yarn. Not shawl. Scarf.
Yeah.
Like a nice skinny scarf, because that would be nice. But here it is. We're already 4 or 5 days into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have been watching the Olympics. I think NBC is doing a fantastic job with coverage. I think during the daytime they have a lot of different things going on, because that's my husband's complaint all the time, is that you don't get to see the various different events, and they've been doing a fantastic job with that. I'm a little disappointed that the gymnastics were not aired live yesterday.
Oh.
And they were aired last night because it's prime time.
Right.
And I understand that, but it was still disappointing that, I mean, if you go on NBC and you have Comcast or Verizon, you can watch live events on your computer.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of disappointing. But we've been watching a lot of that, so I've been working on these. So these are going to be my...
Your sock put?
Yeah, well, I'm not in any events unless it was Blue Moon.
Right.
But just if I can maybe get... If I can get these finished by the end of the Olympics, I'll be very happy.
Good. It's a good
Doubtful,
goal.
but we'll see.
It's a doable goal,
It
right?
absolutely is. If I just put my mind to it, I certainly could. But because I haven't been knitting as much, when I do knit, my hands actually hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like how you have to go back to it again.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I have no future dates. I do plan on making a hat for my brother, and I have one on the needles, but I don't think that's the one. I kind of need mindless knitting. Like right now, I'm debating whether or not to do knit 2, purl 2, and I don't want to because it's not mindless enough. So I'm debating on doing the Jacques Cousteau for my brother, who's on his way currently from Arizona. He's somewhere in the middle of the U.S.
Cool. Road trip, man.
Yeah, road trip with his daughter and his stepson, I guess you could call him.
So I don't have any specific future dates, but as people who follow us on the Ravelry group know, I did my semi-annual stash stir last weekend, during which I found that I had something like 15 skeins of yarn that had never been entered into the stash. That happens, folks. Sometimes the yarn gets upstairs and gets put into the bag without me logging it into Ravelry. I don't mean for it to happen. I just forget to log it in. And I have a bunch of projects that need to be logged into that I have to catch up with, and I'm going to try to do that this week.
Yeah, I'm really behind
This is
on
just
that.
my week for trying to get my Ravelry, because I know some people don't use the Ravelry stash like I do, but I really rely on it. Like if I'm in a yarn store and I'm attracted to a yarn that looks somewhat familiar in my head, I desperately need to check my stash to make sure that I already don't own it, because I have way too much yarn. I'll just admit it. And when you have way too much yarn, you can accidentally buy the same thing over and over again. Yay, especially if it's anything by Dream in Color, because I own so many skeins of Dream in Color that it's likely that if I'm really attracted to a colorway, I might already own it. Because I've bought it over the last 4 or 5 years. I forget. People give me stuff. I forget what it is. But I was really psyched because I found 3 skeins of String Theory hand-dyed caper sock that I didn't know that I had.
Oh, nice.
A blue one and 2 purple ones that match. I'm like, yes! So that made me really excited. I love doing stash stir because I get really inspired. Like, oh, I should totally knit something with this yarn.
Yeah.
And I found a skein of Yarn and Fiber Company Romantica that I forgot to log in. So I think that made me look in my lace bag, because I have bags for everything. And I think
on our thread, she'll explain her organization.
My ornaments. I have a large stash. Somebody wants me to post a fake picture, but I would be too humiliated if I posted a picture of my stash. I mean, I guess I could just pull all the bags out and photograph all the bags, but I already had somebody say that I was the Kim Kardashian of yarn. I don't want to push that any further than it already is.
I think I know other people who have more.
Oh, well, I definitely, I have like an average stash for Ravelry.
For Ravelry.
For Ravelry overall, I have like pretty much an average stash. There are people on there that go way beyond me. But I do have a lot of yarn. Some of it is vintage yarn that I did not buy.
Oh, right.
I like a good quarter of my stash. And but I have a lot of yarn. And my acrylic stash isn't even listed on Ravelry because I don't really count it.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta do a stash stir and probably pull out more things for prizes, because at the rate I'm going, I'm not gonna be knitting with a lot of it.
I know. See,
and I don't have anyone in the house that I can hand that down
because
to.
what I do is give anything that when I do stash drawer, I look, and if there's something that I know I'm not going to knit with, I give it to my mother because she's retired, so she's on a restricted income, and she likes now because of me. She loves fancy yarn, so she's starting to get picky. Like, this doesn't have the twist I like. I'm like, oh my god, I've created a monster.
Yep.
But I think my future date is going to be some kind of a lace shawl. I have some 100% silk from Blue Moon Fiber Arts that I bought at Stitches East a couple of years ago. And I think I'm going to do the seashell shawl from Yarn and Fiber Company that I bought. I think I'm going to do it in that yarn. I think it would be really lovely. So that's kind of in the back of my mind. I got to get this done. I need to get my next pattern that I'm designing, Little Baddie. I need to get that ready to go. So it's going to be a little while. And I need something really simple to work on while I'm doing all this designing, so that I might have to get back to the Creature Comforts cardigan. It's starting, it could get cool soon.
August tends to get cool at night.
Yeah, we're
At least
getting
in the
closer.
Northeast, anyways.
We're getting closer to that, so I might be able to pull back out Creature Comforts pretty soon. But I gotta get back in the. I just have so much going on outside of knitting in my life right now that it's been hard for me to concentrate on knitting. So anyway, that's it for my future dates.
Crushes and heartbreaks. I have one bad heartbreak that really reared its ugly head at 5 a.m. this morning. I talked about a toothache that I've had. I went to the dentist. He says it really isn't root canal material, but it could be.
Yeah.
So I woke up. It's been bothering me. Some days are good, some days aren't. I woke up out of a dead sleep in agony. It was pulsing. I came down, took 3 Advil.
It's like making my jaw hurt just
Oh,
hearing you talk about it.
If you pushed over, you could just feel the pain in the jaw. It's on this side, which doesn't help because I have a root canal on this side that still doesn't have its cap, and that's about almost 9 years old now. Because I was pregnant with Zachary when I had that done.
You and my mom.
So
my mom has one that's been like laying in there for a while.
So now it's like I don't even know what. Last night I made a shrimp dinner. I had cereal because that's what I wanted to eat. I didn't feel like eating anything. So this may be a good thing. I may be losing weight. Not a good reason to, but so I woke up at 5 a.m. in agony. I took 3 Advil. By quarter of, I was still in pain. I went diving for my son's medication. He had some Tylenol with codeine. I took 2 tablespoons. Within 20 minutes, I was able to sleep, probably because of the drug.
Yeah.
And with a pack of ice on my jaw. And my husband gave me the number to his dentist because I want a second opinion. And his dentist is in our network where my dentist is not in our network. So I got a call today for an appointment, hopefully tomorrow. That's probably about as much as the Tylenol with codeine will last because it's not very much. But right now I'm doing okay. I think I might grind my teeth at night as well because I really wake up in the morning with it hurting.
Yeah, well, and that can actually cause cracking, which can lead to this
is
kind
what
of
happened.
problem.
It cracked. My tooth cracked, and I could actually almost pull it out, the piece of tooth but it's so bad that you almost wish somebody with pliers would pull the tooth out because it's so much pain. So I went to my dentist.
Talk about it is making my face hurt. You know how I feel about the dentist.
I went to the dentist 2 or so weeks ago before my vacation, and he said that sometimes people have a reaction to the white filling, and I could be sensitive. He did the typical testing, tapping on the tooth. It doesn't hurt when I tap it. It doesn't really hurt when I chomp down on it. But it's just an agonizing, pulsing pain. So I got to do something with it. I need a second opinion. Hopefully I'll do that within the next day. Because today's Wednesday. Yeah, I'd like to get this somewhat resolved. The problem is the last root canal I had, I think I'd need Valium for this. Just because I'm too tense. I would have to have gas or Valium or something. Because I just know that and as much Novocaine as you can give me because I was very sensitive to my last one. he said that he wouldn't even have to need Novocaine to put the cap on with this one, and I'd be like, baloney,
You know what?
put that on.
Remember when I had a crack in my tooth. It wasn't root canal worthy, but it was just a crack, and they needed to do a cap on it. Just a what do they call those? Is it a cap?
Crown.
A crown. And they're like, they did the thing, and I needed a lot of, I have a phobia about the dentist. I also suffer from generalized anxiety disorder, which is kind of tied in with the whole thing. So I already take a tranquilizer when I go to the dentist, and I'm fine. Not happy, but I can deal. I got through the thing. It hurt, and they had to put way more Novocaine in than they thought they would because I have really sensitive teeth. Mm-hmm. So I went back in for the to put the crown on, and they're like, "Yeah, this is no problem." It hurt so bad, and the dentist said to me, "I'm gonna give you Novocaine." He said, "Let's just stop what we're doing," and he said, "A couple of months ago, I would have thought that you were overreacting," but he had just been to a dental pain symposium, and there are people who they bite down a certain way. That they don't bite down the same so most people when they bite down they bite the same way every time, but there are some people whose jaw moves around a little bit more, and those people tend to be more sensitive when you put the crowns on, and it's like this known thing. And he said we were always told, when we were taught in school 30 years ago, that it doesn't hurt to do this part because we've already done all the work. Of course, I still have a nerve in my tooth because I didn't have a root canal. Right. I just had a crown. He said, but we're finding it. And the funny thing was, I got the crown put on, the permanent crown, and I had to come back in because I thought that I had an infection. Even though they had done the imprint and they had made the crown, because I'm one of those people that doesn't bite down regularly all the time, they had to shave it down because it was still going off a little bit.
Well, see, and this is why Cam recommends this dentist. So I've been going to my dentist for, more than 20 years, I think. And I think that's the problem, is he's old school. He's a very nice dentist, and I kind of feel bad cheating on him, so to speak. But Cam had a cavity in his front tooth, right here, his front tooth, before I even met him, and his filling was done in Vietnam, so it was two-toned.
Yeah.
So it had to have been like a week before we were to get married. His tooth actually cracked.
Oh, God.
So he went to a dentist and it fixed. I don't know if he went to mine at the time or not, but he went to a dentist and it fixed. Well, then they had to, they gave him a post.
Yeah.
But it was his own tooth, but it was a post. And the dentist gave him a fake tooth. Well, this dentist, it kept coming out. My dentist just kept basically putting it in. Well, he went to his dentist, his new dentist, and that was the problem. It wasn't even. So it kept uneven pressure.
And it was popping out.
It kept popping out. So since he's been to this dentist, he hasn't had a problem. So I just want another opinion, maybe from a younger dentist. And I mean, I'm okay if it's gonna be a root canal. I'm okay with that because right now I'm in so much pain. I would really rather have it torn out right now because it's so much pain. Yes. You just need to get the pressure relieved. So I'm hoping that we'll be seen soon. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Max is all eager to pull it out, but let's face it, you really don't want to pull out your teeth.
No, you don't.
Not unless you absolutely have to. So that's my heartbreak. I already talked about one of my crushes, which is the Olympics. I'm really enjoying them. I have a couple of things that I think I'll leave to gossip and innuendo about my vacation.
Okay. My crushes and heartbreaks, I'll give you my weekly knee status update. All is going well. I learned last week at PT that a part of my problem with the muscle in my calf being too tight is that the muscle in my quad is way too tight. So I was stretching my calf muscle, anytime I was standing, I was stretching it, or if I'm sitting at a table, I rest my leg and I bend my leg down to stretch it. Now I also stretch out my quad muscle several times a day, which is harder. I have to do this weird thing on the bed that you wouldn't even understand if I tried to describe it, but it's a really good stretch. I have to hang a leg off the bed and bend it backwards the whole time. And that's actually made an improvement. Okay. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to see my physical therapist because of my heartbreak, which is that I had a car accident yesterday. As those of you who may know who watched the show, I got a speeding ticket last week. It was the first speeding ticket I've ever received in my life. And then just less than a week later, I got into a car accident. And not only did I get into a car accident, but I got into a car accident backing out of my driveway on a dead-end street where only 4 people live and there's no traffic. Like the one time there's a car on my street, and it wasn't even somebody who lived there. I backed into them. So they were driving a Rendezvous, a 2005 Rendezvous, which must be made out of like steel, because they got literally like a dent about this long where I bumped into them. My car, which is a 2012 CRV, will need a new bumper, a new bottom panel for the hatchback, a new driver's side rear panel,
wow,
and a new headlight, a new taillight cover on the driver's side, which is going to cost me at least $3,000. Well, that's not true. It's going to cost at least $3,000 in money. My insurance makes me pay for $500, which I am so thankful that I have car insurance.
At fault.
Oh, I was at fault.
In the state of Massachusetts, you have to.
It's a fault state, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be at least 51% responsible, since I didn't see the person. I did look into I have a rear view backing up camera, which also makes it like, how did this even happen? But I didn't see her. I think she might have been driving a little fast for that road, but I sort of looked. I mean, I didn't look carefully enough. I probably relied too much on my rear view and didn't see her coming out of my side mirror. I don't know what happened. I just know that I was backing out of my driveway like I do every day, and I ran into somebody. So that's my heartbreak. But my crush is that I deal with Warren Insurance in Stowe, Massachusetts. I'm giving them a shout out. If you live in Massachusetts and you need insurance, they are a good place to go. And I go with them because Jeff Warren is a friend of my mom's. We used to live in Stowe, Massachusetts. And I started with him when I was in college because he was a friend. But they've done a good job for me, so I would never, I always see how I could save money going to Geico or whatever, but I would never leave them because they're full service.
Yeah.
To the point where I have to file a police report for my claim, and all I have to do is fill it out and send it to Jeff, and his staff will take care of it. Like, I don't have to make copies, I don't have to give it to anybody, they're going to deal with that. And then my actual insurance carrier is Commerce Insurance, which is a nationwide insurance company. And I got into the accident at about 10:15, and by 1 o'clock, my car was at Auto Body Clinic.
Nice.
And I was getting into a rental car, which I just think that in and of itself makes it so much less stressful on me. I don't have to worry about it. I talked with Commerce. I know what my policy limits are, so I know that I'm going to have to pay $500 to get my car repaired. I have a no deductible on the other person that I hit, so I won't have to pay for her car thing. My car company will take care of that. I am going to get a surcharge on the insurance, but the insurance agent, Warren, told me what that's going to be, worst case scenario. So I know that in Massachusetts, if you don't live here, the state automatically surcharges your insurance. It's not, how there's sometimes accident forgiveness? Yeah. Not here. We don't have that. My mom was like, accident forgiveness, because I have a 30-year clean driver record. Yeah. Doesn't mean anything in the state of Massachusetts. No. It does mean something. They will reduce the points that I get for being in an accident by 1 point, because I have a good record. So,
and every couple of years, if you're not in an accident, your point
goes down. A 3-year, it's every year you get a point lowered. So in 3 years, I won't have any points on the thing anymore. So, it is what it is. People get into accidents. And I was telling Sheila, the funny thing is, I am so upset and finding it hard to get over that speeding ticket because it was unfair and it wasn't real. But I totally ran into a person and damaged my brand new car, and I'm not even that upset about it because it is what it is. I don't know. I guess it just seems funny to me that I would be more upset about the ticket that wasn't my fault than the accident that was my fault. But yeah, that's why I've had a lot going on, because I have some family situation going on. I have my husband's family coming into town for this wedding. my daughter has a medical situation we're dealing with right now. It's nothing serious, but it's that. And I have this speeding ticket I have to go to court on, and now I got into a car accident, probably because of all the stuff that's going on right now. So, yeah, it's been a tough week. But that's it for my crushes and heartbreak.
Right, we go on to Baubles and Blings, and the reason why this is 72.A is because as we started to record, I got a bunch of baubles and blings.
I was like, wow, what have you done?
An error on their part, and I'm hoping it's going to be to my benefit, but I don't think it will be.
This is unbelievable.
As everyone knows, I'm the member of the Blue Moon Fiber Arts Club. A couple of shipments ago, I got double shipments. I wasn't able to return it because I had opened it. Well, technically, I opened these as well, but I think I was able to close it because I got not one, not two, but 3 shipments.
3. When I saw her son walking in the door, he had an armload. I was like, what did you do?
So these are the 2 that I'm hoping to return. Not hoping, but because I'm a decent person, so I'm going to try and glue this down a little bit. I think they should be able to take them back. I will talk to Blue Moon Fiber Arts.
And let them know.
And let them know what happened and what I am trying to do. So those are the 2 that I am trying to return. Here is the one I am keeping. You know, in all honesty, if it was a yarn that I really, really liked, I probably wouldn't say anything.
I would have made her say something if it was 2, but it was 3. It's like, dude, that's like
I like
crazy.
it. It's just not what I would really pick. This reminds me of peanut butter and jelly. That's what this reminds me of.
It reminds me of the Minnesota Vikings, which are now not the Minnesota Vikings. But when I grew up, that was the Minnesota football team.
So anyways,
purple and yellow.
If you're a member, and I just spoiled it for you, I apologize. It is medium weight, which I love. The colors are Doodle Doo.
Honey Cocoa.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Doodle Doo. Oh, because there's one little one that you can't. Where is it?
No. 2 skeins.
No, there's one little one.
Well, that's always there.
It says there are 3.
I think I didn't open this, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
Let me look at the pattern. I'm looking at the pattern to see if it clarifies.
It's 2 skeins of yarn.
1 skein each of 3 colors. Doodle Doo, Honeycock, and Raven Fledge Valkyrie.
1 skein each of 3 colors. I only have 2. That's only 2.
Wait, it says on here which one it is. Honey, Caca, Doodle Doo.
Unless she put
The
Honey Caca, Doodle Doo, and Valkyrie Fledge.
Oh wait, I see. Because we could not possibly put 3 mini skeins of each colorway, we made it random, a mixed bag. Some of you will get Valkyrie Fledge, some Doodle Doo, and some Honey Caca.
So you know what? I may just open those other ones to see what the colors are and see if I like them better.
Yeah.
Very carefully. Anyway, sorry. All right, so I have Doodle Doo and
Honey Caca. No,
Valkyrie Fledge. I wouldn't even call that Valkyrie Fledge.
No, I think you have Honey Caca.
I think I have a mixture between Honey Caca and Valkyrie Fledge. Because, all right,
We can't tell!
Here's the picture of the 3 skeins I'm supposed to get.
We definitely know she has the middle skein right here.
Which is the nice pretty orange, which is Doodle Doo, which is this one here. This next one, it looks like Honey Caca.
But
it
there's
also
no
looks
dark
like
in Honey Caca.
Valkyrie Fledge. So
like
I'm
a
not really
blend.
sure. It looks like I got a blend of the 2.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to see if there's like
So
any.
I'm not a big fan of the colors. It is my favorite weight, which is medium weight. Although one of them looks lightweight, but I don't know. So this was what was in my mail
Here
today.
we go. Yeah.
I got a mixture of the 2. I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at all.
This is how they're supposed to look.
And this is how they look. So you tell me what I got. And anyone who gets it, which I know Diane gets Blue Moon Fiber Art, I believe MJ does too. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to be going on to the board on this to see what other people think too, because...
Yeah, because Honey Cock A does not have any purple in it.
Mine does.
That looks like the wrong... Maybe that's why you got 3 ones. Let's open the other ones and see what they have. Because that is really strange.
I'm going to try and do this so that
We'll open it carefully so she can re-nail it.
Wow. I didn't even look at it.
I didn't either because I just assumed they were all the same.
No, this one looks the same. Although less purple. No, that looks the same.
This still has purple in it. Purple. See, but when you look at this, there's purple in it.
I don't know what they did, but I don't think they did what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Because this is all the same. This one actually looks
because
more
if
like
you
a
look
striping.
on here, it looks blended. That's the skein that's in there. Oh, wait. I don't understand.
We'll figure it out.
This must be Doodle Doo. I think this is Doodle Doo. And you got one of the 3 coordinates. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. And of course, each coordinate I got.
Doodle Doo is the 200 one.
And each of the 3 shipments I have, I got the same coordinate, which is weird.
Yeah, but they might have all just been packaged at the same. Like they might have done all the yellows and then not all the reds.
All right, that makes more sense.
This goes to tell you, kids, if you're in the Blue Moon Fiber Art Rockin Sock Club, you need to read the dyer's notes carefully. I get it now, though. So, Doodle.
I like that one better.
No, Doodle Doo. No, that still doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm very confused. I don't know. Let me see if I can find something.
But yeah, the picture... Well, anyways, we'll figure this out after the show because we're going to be wasting precious time here.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody who's in the club will read it and have more time and understand it. But definitely she got one of these skeins, which is not one of the 3 skeins listed. So I'm thinking everyone gets that one skein. And
I'll have to go on the boards and figure out what's going on.
Confused, we has it.
Yeah.
So that's her bubbles and bling.
I'm gonna try and send them back. I'm gonna talk to Blue Moon. As much as I would love to keep them, and maybe give them to a friend of mine who loves Blue Moon as much as me.
It is 3
shipments.
That's crazy, man. 2 I get. 3.
Yeah.
It's like maybe next month you'll get 4. Maybe it goes up every month.
So I don't know. We'll see. And the other blobbles
and bing.
Bobbles and bling I got. I want to say thank you to Wendy's mom, Nancy. She made me some socks and sent them to me.
And she even wove the ends in.
She even wove the ends in. I know.
She doesn't do that for me.
Kind of weird, though.
One's a little looser.
I don't know. But
you know my mom.
I'm assuming these... I have the extra skein. I think it's Cicada, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is Cicada. I think I remember her telling me it was Cicada.
So... one of these socks looks a little bit awkward.
Well, you know, my mom never makes 100% mistake-proof sock. But it's made with love.
That's fine with me. I showed them to my husband when I got them. I got them on Saturday. He's like, yeah, so I'm like, you don't get it, do you?
No, you don't. Hand-knit socks, man, it's the bomb.
See, now, showing them to my son, besides the colorway, he's not so great, but he understands handmade socks.
Yeah, because they're cool.
Because he tries to steal them from my drawer. Yeah, he even agreed. So those are my baubles and blings, and next week I'll tell you the fiasco of...
how the outcome of the Blue Moon Fiber Art Club. It's like a never-ending story.
Yeah, it's really weird when you look at that, because that's not my skeins at all. But yet it's the picture on the main page.
It's very confusing, which leads me to think that what they're trying to say is you get that peanut butter and jelly looking one, and then you get one of the 3 coordinates with it, but the label is confusing.
Yeah.
Somebody will explain it. I don't have any baubles and bling. Actually, I do have baubles and bling, but I forgot to bring them. I got 2 new books, but I'll show them another time. I like the red and orangey one.
I do too.
I'd knit with that.
I'm sorry, I'm still looking at this saying, what the heck?
What the heck is going on here?
Anyways, on to gossip and innuendo. We're running 50 minutes here. Yeah, sorry, I had vacation last week. We left from my house on Sunday to go to New York. We went to a place in New York that sells discounted tickets for shows that same day, so they want to try and fill the seats. We ended up seeing Cirque du Soleil Zarkana, which we absolutely loved. My family loved it. Zachary loved it because it had a lot of tumbling. It was a really good show. And then we were at the Jersey Shore. Max wants to share another show that we went to, which we'll talk about in a minute. Then we were down at the Jersey Shore. We went to Seaside Heights, Atlantic City, which was a little disappointing. It was fun, but I'm glad we didn't stay there.
Yeah.
Me too.
They're definitely trying to build up the Caesar's Palace area. Right. And so we had a good time. I was down with my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law. We stayed in a typical motel. It wasn't anything fancy. It had a bed, had a fridge. We went to a water park.
That was fun.
That was fun. We had a good time at the water park. They had a lazy river, and after about 2 or 3 times going around the lazy river with my eyes shut, I got a little nauseous.
Aww.
I get nauseous on rides. But we had a lot of fun. So.
And they had a hot tub.
Yeah, Max liked the hot tub, although I was thinking if you're in 90-degree weather, what makes you want to sit in a hot tub? But I think the hot tub was like 70.
No, it was actually 90.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I was cold after all those rides.
So then we came home. We came home on Thursday. Friday we did absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. We didn't put anything away. Saturday we put some things away. Sunday we went to another show that my sister-in-law bought us tickets for. And
we went to Blue Man Group.
We went and saw Blue Man Group. And let me just tell you, my mother-in-law didn't like it at all. And if you ever went to Blue Man Group, it might be because of the fact she didn't understand a lot of what was going on. There was a lot of sight gags that were kind of disgusting, and for somebody who may have an OCD in cleanliness, I can understand why she didn't like it. My husband was so-so on it, but me and my 3 boys loved it. And the beginning of it is very visual. You have to read. So I was reading out loud for Zachary. And it shows, welcome. And it slowly gets your attention.
Yeah.
And then it introduces certain people in the audience. And it was really funny. Well, there was one scene. They take somebody up from the audience. And it was a food scene. And oh my God. I was laughing so hard that I couldn't even breathe. And I had tears down my eyes. I was just laughing so hard. We had a really good time.
Let's just say it's for people with humor.
Stop, that'd be nice. My husband enjoyed it. He just didn't enjoy it as much as we did. And from the sounds of it, his mother didn't enjoy it at all. And I guess she was going to give his sister a lecture for a waste of money. But the reason his sister didn't go with us is she'd already seen it. So she must have thought it was good enough for the rest of us to see it. It was really, really funny. I'm still, when I think about some of the gags, I still chuckle to myself. It was just really, really funny.
There's this one part where they pulled up a guest from the audience, and they took a camera, and it felt like the camera was going down his throat.
But you could tell that it was actually pre-recorded. It was just one of the sight gags that they do all the time. But it was really, really funny.
Awesome.
It was really funny.
That's
Thank you for
cool.
your narration there. So that was my gossip and innuendo. It was my vacation. I was sad to go back to work. I went back to work on Sunday. I'm working again tonight. I'm working Friday and Saturday. Yeah, it makes me really, really push. I have an open house on Saturday for some school that I want to do, and makes me really want to push for a normal schedule again.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
For my gossip and innuendo, Little Birdie, also known as Yarn vs. Zombies, who's on Ravelry, and who is also a dyer, told us that there is an event called Sock the Vote on the Singlehandedknits video podcast, which I am a member of the group. Somebody, I think Roxanne from our group, told me that I should join it, so I joined it a while ago. But as I've told you before, I don't watch a lot of podcasts because I don't have a lot of time to watch podcasts. Sheila has more than me because she has overnights where she can squeeze them in. I don't see a lot of them every week. So I saw the episode that she did on Sock the Vote. It's an interesting concept. You can learn more about it by going to the Singlehanded Knits podcast and watching the Sock the Vote video where she explains the idea and how she came up with it, or you can read the Ravelry Singlehanded Knits one-word group where she explains it. But basically, she's got two dyers who are going to dye yarn to make kits, and I think there are like 30 kits per group. She's not asking, it's not like a huge thing because it's, she doesn't want to stress them too much. And you can buy a kit to either be in the toe-up party or the cuff-down party. And then I think there's a third party that's the green party, which may or may not have its own colorway. There might be a third colorway, a blended one that she's doing. I didn't really understand that part of it. And then you can also be the independent party where you can knit anything you want with any. You don't have to buy a kit to be in the Sock That Vote.
That would be the one I go for.
Yeah, and she was talking about people who are members of the group or who are participating to nominate mascots for the parties. And Yarn vs. Zombie, who I think is dyeing one of the things, thought that we would be great mascots. So if you're doing it and you want to vote for us there, or if you are interested in doing it and you have another podcast person, audio or video that you want to vote, there is a thread in there for you to nominate it. And if it sounds like something you think would be fun, you should head over there and check it out.
Sounds good.
So, anyway, and the great thing is that you can purchase something and be involved, or you don't have to purchase anything to be involved, which I really like about it.
Yeah, because that's always nice. Not everybody wants to purchase anything, and I know with my growing stash, I try and limit it as much as possible.
Yeah, and sometimes the thing that is offered isn't to your taste, so it's fun that you can still participate with something in your own yarn and be in your own party and, do it that way. So it should be really fun. And the Singlehanded Knits podcaster, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, but the lady that does it is really fun to watch, so check her podcast out. And that's all I have.
And on that note, I think we're going to call it quits. Thanks for watching us. If you're any new viewer and you're checking us out for the first time, hope we didn't bore you too much.
Yeah.
If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back each week. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully when the fall comes and the weather cools, I'll be more into the knitting again. It's just really difficult with hot weather and sticky hands. So
if you want more information about the show, you can find it above Sheila's head.
That's all my contacting. You can go to knitoneheart2.blogspot.com.
Mm-hmm. We do try to put show notes up there.
I know. I'm sorry.
I put show notes up last week. I can always put my show notes up when I post the show if it will make it easier for you, because I can just cut and paste them. I have them on my computer.
You could probably do that. It might
and
be
then
better
you
that
can
way.
fill yours in. You think that will happen?
I don't know.
I think we're moving to that because I was like, hey, scroll. Where are the show notes? I'm like, dude.
It's the only thing I have to do, and I don't even do it.
I just want everyone to know, it takes me literally 5 hours to cut and edit, process, and upload the show every week. That's what I do. All she has to do is put the show notes on. It takes like 15 minutes. Does she do it?
It takes a little bit longer than that.
And I don't go on our blog that often, so I have no idea. I'm like, scroll. Hey, because I was wondering what the format should be since I was the only one who did the show.
No, I'll do it. I don't mind doing it. It's the least I can do.
Dude, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
sorry, everybody. It's her.
It is. It's totally me. I apologize. But on that note, I will get them up.
You heard it here, folks. She's promising on the podcast. All right. So everybody stay cool.
Have a good week. Knit with heart.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. I know.